Out of nowhere, I had like this lightning bolt of piercing, burning pain. It was the most excruciating pain I'd ever felt in my life come into the upper part of my left cheek and just pierced straight through my face.
It was 1997 when 25-year-old Chris Carlson started having the attacks. At first, they lasted a few seconds, but every day they returned, more painful and more often.
But when Chris would have one of the shocks, the spikes of pain in her face, I could see it instantly. Her eye would close up, her face would kind of scrunch up.
My face would swell up with the pain, and so literally my face would constrict.
Doctors couldn't find the cause, and the faintest touch on her face or exposure to light would trigger an episode. The pain from her sensitivity to light became so debilitating, she had to leave her job as an engineer and isolate herself from friends.
Our house was becoming darker and darker and darker. I mean, a light bulb would go out, we wouldn't replace it. And so literally it was dark, but emotionally it was also dark.
Finally, after 6 years, doctors discovered Chris had a rare chronic pain condition called TN, or trigeminal neuralgia. It affects the trigeminal nerve that carries sensation to the face and brain. It's also known as the suicide disease.
Because people just can't get out of the pain, and so they will eventually take their own life.
I mean, it was very stressful. It controlled everything about our lives, every decision we made.
For the next 9 years, doctors treated Chris with medications, injections, and surgeries, but they provided only temporary relief. Chris and Dave say during this time, they prayed for everything except healing.
We pray to get the right doctor who would know what was going on. We'd pray to get the right procedure, but never did we know to just pray to take it away.
So with all her options exhausted, Chris asked God to help her cope with the pain.
You have to help me. I can't do this. Well, if I have to live with it, God, you gotta help me to live with it. You know, I can't do it all by myself. So you're gonna have to step in and help me.
In August 2012, Dave encouraged her to attend a healing service hosted by a local pastor, Tim McCarthy. The guest speaker was Marlene Kleppies, a woman healed of cerebral palsy. Pastor Tim introduced her by showing her story that once aired on the 700 Club.
And then afterwards, Pastor Tim said, Marlene would pray for people if you'd like prayer. And so I look at Dave and I'm like, okay, let's go. It's time to go home. He's like, are you kidding? You are going up for prayer.
Reluctantly, she went forward.
I said, look, I don't believe in this whole healing business. And she says, okay.
Okay, I'll believe for you. That's not a hard task. And then I remember feeling that it was very important that I touch the side of her face.
And then she asked to touch my face. And nobody ever touched my face, but I let her. So she puts her hand on my face and says just a simple prayer. She's getting very bouncy and joyous, and she's like, oh, I didn't expect that. There it is. And so, of course, I don't say, yes, I'm feeling heat in the back of my neck. She finishes her prayer, and I say, okay, thank you very much. Have safe travels home.
As the couple headed home, a tingling sensation spread throughout the left side of her face.
For 25 minutes, I had that. And then I had nothing. My face just opened up, my eye opened, and I had no pain.
She's like, I don't feel any pain at all. I'm like any pain?
And we were both just confused. You know, where's the pain? It had been 15 years, and it was gone.
Chris was in awe of what God had done.
In that moment, I was quiet. The pain is gone, but there was no reason for me to be healed. I wasn't in the Word all the time. I wasn't actively asking for healing. I wasn't, you know, I didn't have my ducks in the row, you know? And I was healed only because He loves me.
Chris and Dave say the miracle made them reevaluate their priorities. They quit their jobs and sold their belongings. Today, they travel as missionaries and spread the word about God's healing power.
He's absolutely incredible, isn't he? That I can go from being so sick to this is just amazing. And we have the most blessed life.